My name's Kyle.
And my name's Melissa.
Together, we've been traveling with our dog Dolly in our Toyota RAV4. We've decided, though, it's time to convert our very own camper van. We're gonna test the 12 volt, so I just connected in the off-road lights. So that's the easiest thing to, obviously the brightest thing that's gonna work or not. And we need to put a 30 amp fuse in it. So picked up a pack of fuses from Harbor Freight, super cheap. So we just need to put a 30 amp fuse in here. Oh man. Well, I just realized when trying to put in a fuse that I accidentally got the wrong size fuses. These are mini fuses, not like a normal size fuse like this. So here's the size difference. Alright, well, time to see if Harbor Freight's still open and they carry normal size fuses. So Melissa's been gone all day and she has separation anxiety to the extreme, and so it's just running to Harbor Freight and back. She was so excited when I opened the door and let her out of the house, and now she won't even leave my side. Just before I turned the camera on, she wouldn't get out of my lap either. Oh, oh yes, Dolly. Apparently the switch is on, but they are working. Would you look at that? What do you think, girl, huh? Do you like the lights? It works. So actually, let's test this too. So the pilot light, there's like a driving light that should work with these. So I gotta go grab the key, and then as soon as we start the engine, it should, and the light and the car lights are on. There should be like a center light that pops on those. As soon as we turn this on, should mean there's a running light. Yep. Perfect. Oh. Melissa just got home. Where's it, Dolly? Where is it? There she goes. So Melissa's been at the hairdresser getting a haircut. So let's go in and see how it looks.
Oh, I put my butt up.
You cut it so short?
I mean, it's the same as I did last time.
It's so funny. I just finished editing and uploading yesterday a video where I was talking about how we're gonna get the electrical box fully installed and hook up all the electronics and everything's gonna be working so we can get the max air fan because it's so stinking hot out. And here, I think literally a month after that footage was shot, I'm finally getting the max air fan up and running. Hey, it's going. All right, we got the whole panel. So the only things that are left to add into this is the 12 volt lines for the refrigerator, which is gonna sit right here. The water heater, which is going to sit right next to it, and then the water pump, which is going to be, you know, once we get the water system installed. Until then, we can put this back into its hole, and it can live there.
Dolly, move! Get out of the way!
So we're kind of getting a late start tonight, and I was just kind of thinking of what small projects we have that can be finished really, really quickly and easily. And the diesel heater is installed, but then if you remember when I installed it, that same day we had to drive the van over to a friend's house. So I never cut the hole for the blower exhaust, like where the, whatever this thing is called, where the heat comes out of. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna take the seat off, and I bought this the other day, and it is the same size that we need to fit this. So
It just fell on its own accord. Really? Yeah, I wasn't touching it. It just fell. It just fell.
do you want to see something funny? See if you can guess what this is for right here. So this is going to be our water inlet. So whenever we need to fill up our freshwater tank, this is where we're gonna fill it up at. The reason it says gas, okay, this is kind of an odd one. I think it's kind of funny that it says gas, which basically means that anytime someone would want to siphon our gas, if they could even unlock this thing, because it's pretty solid. It's fully stainless steel, locking, everything. They would just get fresh water, which I think is hilarious. So here's the reason why it says gas though. When I was looking for a freshwater inlet valve, all I wanted to make sure that it was flush to the body, or as close as flush to being as possible. Most of them stick out like a good little bit, and I really didn't want that for the water inlet. And I also really wanted stainless steel because I think it just looks super nice, super clean. And I also wanted it to be able to lock. It's a pretty tall order to have all of those things in one fixture, in one inlet valve. So I went online, I started searching, and I actually found this from someone that I watch on YouTube who's another van lifer. Her name is Nikki Delventhal, and she has this on her van. And before I saw it on her video, I literally could not find a stainless steel, lockable, flush mount water inlet valve. And she has it, she even mentioned about how it says gas and everything. But this is quite literally, I'm pretty sure, the only one of like this on the market that is flush, stainless steel, and can lock. And locking was a big safety concern for me because I really didn't want somebody to come up and be able to access our water tank where we're drinking out of and doing dishes and cooking with and things like that. I really needed it to be able to lock. I'm gonna try to use a little trick that I saw. So to catch metal shavings, take your tape, put it up here, but only like halfway, and then you just let this sit right here. And this will catch them as they fall. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. I would say that my little tape catch method worked. Look at that.
Whoa! Did you just drill this hole right now?
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
What do you think?
Looks so friggin' bougie.
Looks nice, right?
Gasoline. Our little secret that it's actually water. Or who knows, maybe we put iced tea in there.
Put iced tea, and then if somebody tries to siphon it, they just get
It'll look the same.
a yummy southern surprise. It is installed. Here's the method that I used for making this template. First, I used 2 small pieces of cardboard and I cut it to the side of the headliner on both sides. So that was the first step. And then the third step was I got a bigger piece that goes side to side and I slowly cut it, scribed it along the wall, cut it, scribed it along the wall, cut it, scribed it along the wall until I was happy with it. And then taped these 3 pieces together, cut the outside edges. I had to make sure that this to there was the right distance because that's something that I could easily measure, and it was 55 inches exactly that needed to be. So when we got the template out here, it actually was a little bit shorter, so we kind of had to stretch it because getting it out of that spot up there, out of the headliner, it kind of squeezed the pieces in a little bit. So we just kind of pull it back out to size, scribe the line on another piece of cardboard, like a full-size piece of cardboard that then I set up here to double check the fit. And now I'm about to go put this on a piece of plywood and cut it out. Man, wearing goggles and a mask when you have glasses kind of sucks because they just fog up. I don't know if you can see that. Put in the comments below. Do you think this is gonna fit first time? Please, please, please. Please, please, please. This ain't too bad.
Whoa. Was this the first cut?
Yeah. Really? So Melissa has been painting the past 2 nights, and she should have this cabinet done tonight. So while Melissa is finishing painting, I think it maybe is time to get the front floor put back in. So like the stock Sprinter vans come with this like mat stuff that helps with heat coming up from the ground, as well as like noise transfer and everything like that, and also is like really cushiony. Before I clean these mats though, I gotta show you this. So Dolly just learned how to play fetch. You ready? Go! Now back to the mats. You know what they always say, work smarter and not harder. So I just recently got a new to me table saw, and it's this right here, and it is a 1960s Craftsman table saw. Now, when I first brought it home, Melissa was like, "Really?" But in actuality, they just make tools better back then. So this is a fully solid cast iron top, and eventually what I'm planning on doing is getting this whole thing mounted inside of a table. So it would be like a 4-foot by 8-foot size table. This is on one end, and you have the entire table as your tabletop, with this being your solid foundation for the table saw. So the previous one that I had, while it was good and it did me well, it really was a not as high of a quality tabletop, and you didn't have a lot of surface area. It was also really difficult to keep it straight and like 90 degrees on the fence, as well as the blade. The blade kept, every single time you'd run it for a little bit, the blade would kind of like cant over a little bit. This one is super solid and should hopefully not have any of those issues. So this fence that it has on it is decent for right now, especially while it's, you know, not installed in a table yet. But I'm actually going sometime this week to pick up a table saw that I found on Facebook Marketplace that is significantly bigger. It's like a precision, pretty nice table saw fence. And until then, we're using this. And today, I'm really wanting to finish that headliner shelf. So I need to do some modifications to the front face of that shelf. And we're gonna make the first cut for the van on this new table saw. That just cut so much nicer than the other table saw. Just like glided through that. Sweet. So if I measured correctly, the shelf right here should sit on this lip that I added to this front face. Yeah, that looks good. Here it is. It is installed. I just need to crank down these bolts, but the bolts are all four in. All right, so we have, this is gonna be the face frame for the headliner shelf. And I just drew in the line of where the cabinet is gonna go. So like the cabinet will be pretty much right here on this guy. And then here is like a rough estimation of where the curve of that headliner is. So I'm thinking we're going to leave probably like 2 inches on the bottom so that way things don't easily come out. And then probably like 1.5 inches or so on the top. And kind of center it on this portion from where the cabinet comes over, and then in this area. So we're gonna router this, we're gonna do some more measurements, measure 3 times, cut once. So for getting these curves, we went with a very scientific method. A lot of people would use like a protractor or something like that. We decided to use a Lowe's mini pail. And at first we were like, you know, this looks good, but then we were like, that's too small. We don't like that. So we upgraded to our Perma White Mildew Mold Interior Paint Primer. And it was the perfect size, as you can see. Boom. You know, you just gotta make sure that when you draw it on the first attempt, because if you don't, it's really unforgiving. You know, you can't really erase it. So use the router. Got these nice beveled edges that feel just so much better than like a hand sanded or a flat, like a pointed edge. So you were so much faster at this than me. You already have that whole side primed.